Why I'm worried about the rise of liberal young women. A recent survey by the American Enterprise Institute reveals that liberalism is on the rise among women within my generation, Gen Z. Now, 46% of white Gen Z women identify as liberal, compared to only 28% of white Gen Z men. This gender gap has been widening for a while. Over the past 2 decades, the political profiles of young men and women remained pretty stable, but in recent years, women have shifted significantly to the left.
What is up, everyone? My name is C. Welcome to the C Talks channel. If you're new, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing the C Talks channel. All right. At the beginning of this video, I played you guys a clip by Freya India, 23-year-old writer from the UK. And I've seen a few of her videos, and she's always talking about things that make me think. So I have to add to what she says in this video. So let's get into it. In this video, Freya talks about how liberalism is on the rise amongst Gen Z women. If you're unaware of how old Gen Z is, Pew Research puts them between the ages of 12 and 27 as of this year. So a recent study showed that 46% of white Gen Z women identify as liberal, while 28% of white Gen Z men identify as liberal. That's a problem. And if you go back, and I'm going to put the visual up on the screen right now. If you go back in time, it was almost the same number. So the amount of men identifying as liberal and the amount of women identifying as liberal were almost the same years ago. But over the last 10 years, I think Freya said 10 years, we're seeing this widening of women going liberal and men skewing conservative. Why is this a problem? It's a problem because it affects dating and relationships in the United States and in the first world. People have the best dating outcomes when their partner has similar ideologies and beliefs as them. It benefits nobody when you're living in a nation full of conservative men and liberal women, because the men are not going to be happy and there aren't going to be enough conservative women to go around. It makes sense. I say that social media plays a huge part in this trend, because social media can put you in an ideology bubble and in a bubble, so to speak, where you're just exposed to beliefs that you want to hear, ideologies that you want to see, and you're not exposed to what other people think and feel, and the fact that there's 9 billion people on this planet and there's 9 billion ways to think. Another study found that liberal teen girls are the most likely group to say they spend 5 or more hours per day on social media. First of all, that's an insane amount of time to be on your phone watching social media. Freya, I believe, talked about this in another one of her videos, where she said that a lot of young people, Gen Z, haven't even been on a date. They're essentially just living vicariously through their phones and through social media. They're not having interactions with people. They're not experiencing life. They're not going out with friends. They're not having a coffee date with somebody they're interested. They're just experiencing this thing called life, which is a thing that's meant to be experienced IRL in the real world by all of us. They're experiencing this through their phone. Young liberal teen girls are just spending a ton of time on social media, and their ideologies are being affected. What they think is being influenced. It isn't a good way to come of age or to enter adolescence and grow into an adult. We have a generation of young people that have just grown up on their phones. They haven't been exposed to real life situations. Like, I'm a millennial. I say this often and I say this proudly. I'm glad I'm a millennial because I got to experience things. We hung out a lot. We left the house a ton. We were largely unsupervised. It was great to be a millennial. I can't imagine how messed up I would turn out to be if I would have grown up now, just in front of a phone all day, watching social media. I don't know what that would have been like. So another study looked into Gen Z women red flags in a partner. And I'm going to read the two ones, which just, like, to me are just the craziest ones. Gen Z women view listening to Joe Rogan a red flag. How? How is that a red flag? I listen to Joe Rogan. He talks about interesting things. He's fun to listen to, and he has a lot of good guests. I guess I'm a red flag. The second one, if you believe in two genders. Look, if you've made it this far in my video, congratulations, but I believe there are two genders, and if you'd like to leave my channel now, that's perfectly fine, but that's my belief. So if you're still here, let's continue. Another thing to consider and think about is the fact that Gen Z women are also mentally not well. Another survey that I was looking at found that 56% of liberal white women 18 to 29 have been diagnosed with a mental health condition. I think the root of all of this is social media. I did a video recently where I talked about how for every hour that you use social media, your risk of depression goes up by 13%. I think at the end of the day, we just don't know how bad social media really is. We're finding out, and I know recently I talked about this. They're looking into banning TikTok in the United States. We'll see what happens with that. But social media is definitely playing a part in all of this. All right. My name is C. Appreciate you guys watching. If you liked this video, you'll also like this other video up on the screen. I will be back with more videos soon. Peace.